Mary and George had waited 9 long months to meet their twins. However, a complication in childbirth caused one of the little ones to be born dead. It was a hard blow for them. They had always dreamt of having 2 children. But after the operation that they had done to the mother, the doctors confirmed that she wouldn't be able to get pregnant again. They were immensely happy to be parents, but the memory of having lost their little girl tormented them. So they made a decision. They chose to manage all the necessary documentation to adopt an orphan child and be able to share all their love with a little one who needed it. Luckily, they didn't have to wait too long, and they soon received a call confirming that they had been selected. When they arrived at the orphanage, the director herself introduced them to the little ones. Their ages were between 9 and 10 years old. However, Mary turned her attention to the only girl who hadn't been introduced. She was bucked up in a corner, hugging a rag doll. All the children were clean and they looked good. It was obvious that they were cared for in the center. However, that girl was dirty and had several wounds. This caused the woman a lot of uncertainty, and she asked the director what the reason was. The person in charge tried to divert the couple's attention to the other children, indicating that this minor was something special. She told them that her name was Valerie. Since she had arrived, she hadn't spoken or played with the other children. And no matter how much they cleaned her every day, she always reappeared with a dirty body. The director continued with her presentation. However, Mary felt very sorry for Valerie. She was sure that the only thing she needed was love. She discussed it with her husband, and he also agreed. So a few days later, the adoption was processed and Valerie became their adoptive daughter. When the little girl had been in her new home for a week, Mary began to notice that very strange things were happening. She washed her every day, and after a few hours, she was dirty again, just as the director of the center had told them. They spoke to her, but she didn't answer and she hardly wanted to eat. One day, Mary wanted to grab a rug from the drawer when she saw that it was empty. She approached Valerie and saw that the little girl was busy creating rag dolls. Instead of scolding her for grabbing them without permission, she let her play because the girl was finally enjoying herself. When she saw them closely, she realized that they were a replica of the director and the children of the center. She had crafted them with great skills. A few hours later, she saw that something was igniting in the fireplace. Valerie was in front, watching with a smile how her new dolls were burned. The mother didn't know what to think. Perhaps the girl missed her peers? So she decided to show up at the center to talk to the director. When she arrived, she couldn't believe it. The building was on fire. Firefighters were trying to put out the fire. A shiver ran through her body and Mary hurried back home. When she arrived, she searched everywhere for the girl, but her only trace was in the garden. A new doll lay on the floor and it looked like her husband. Its head was cut off. A few minutes later, she heard a piercing scream. Mary looked towards the house and could see how her husband's head fell through the window and was crushed on the floor. Valerie was standing in front of her, smiling with satisfaction. The woman pounced on the girl and with a stone began to hit her heart, screaming. She was disfiguring her face until she gave her last breath. Afterwards, she buried her in the garden and returned home to grab her son and escape from there. When she got inside, she found the little boy sitting in a puddle of water next to the light socket, a plug in his hand. In the other, he had 2 rag dolls. They were the replica of the mother and her son. Mary tried to stop her baby from using the cable, but it was impossible. Both met their death there. A few hours later, in the dead of night, the earth in the garden began to move, and the girl, injured and dirty looking, got up and began to walk. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life horror videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.